Okay, what's up everyone? How are you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. It is 1.5 hours before it is midnight. And we go live because a promise is a promise. When my friends leave, I go live and do an altcoin stream. And here we are. So I had a crazy day. For the first time, Dutch friends visited myself and my wife, us here in the south of France, as we moved in the beginning of August. And yeah, we spent the day walking, sightseeing, some drinks here, dinner there, and chilling here at home. And now they just left. And that, of course, is then a great moment to go live. Because, hey, you know, guys, I swear, a promise is a promise. If I tell you guys I'll be live today, I will be live today. I said the evening, it's like night now. But you never know how the day goes. But here we are. Altcoins. That is what we're going to pay attention to in today's live stream. So, good evening. I'm going to be online for an hour. I have an alarm set so that I know that in about an hour, you know, it's time. And it's going to be 11:30 by that time. So, man of words, yeah. I hate breaking promises, and I also hate to mismanage expectations. And if you guys expect a live stream about alts, you bet I'm going to get you a live stream about alts. Even, I don't care if it was past 12, past midnight, I'll be live here covering some alts. Make sure to vote if you haven't, by the way. The link is in the chat. Closing Spotify here, done with the intro music. And yeah, make sure to vote. Right, we'll shortly cover Bitcoin. I gotta be honest, yesterday and today I did not really look at the charts. Yesterday was a full day of working on the vision of the YouTube channel. So I was working on a 10-year plan, and then I want to degrade it to a 5-year plan, 1-year plan, and then I translate it into my planner, which is also including monthly and weekly plans and then daily activities. So I've been working yesterday for most of the day on the 10-year plan. I got quite far, didn't yet finish it. If you do want to download the planner I use, by the way, which is, it's completely free. I'm just searching for it. Oh, here it is. So download this, right? This is the planner I use myself every week. And I forgot to post a picture here, so I actually might have to just post a picture so you know what it looks like. But that is the planner I use. Shared it with you. Hopefully it's useful. But yeah, so that is what I was working on yesterday. And then today, of course, my friends were here, so you know, I wasn't in front of my PC for pretty much the whole weekend. So. But I always keep an eye on Discord. You know, I always check what's going on. So what's up, Corey? Cheers, man. Welcome. And thanks for popping in, saying hi. TP, how you doing? Transpro, Samsung United, Cbel, welcome. Maybe Band-Aid, how you doing? Also working, by the way, on his 10, 5, and 1-year plan. And everyone, I want you to remember this. Maybe a Band-Aid told me in Discord that he wants me to remind him in 1 week that he has to finish his 10-5 1-year plan so that I am like an accountability. All of you are now also an accountability partner of Maybe a Band-Aid, right? At the end of this week, Saturday/Sunday, this guy has a finished 10-5 1-year plan, right? Remember, no pressure, Maybe a Band-Aid. Everyone here now knows. We are currently with about 50 viewers, which is quite impressive seeing the time. But everyone will know. We don't have to know what you write down, but you better write shit down. Yo, admin, how you doing? Yup, at midnight. TP, what you doing, man? Have you been using Teal Street? No, it's what Charles recommended I use. And he said that they use this 30% with lots of additions. Oh, I'll have to check. No, so I never had like things that I was looking for like you did with the extra positions and trying to scale in. So I think it's an additional software that can make that happen, but it's not the way I trade. So I guess it's something I guess Charles communicated to the team, came back to you with, this is something. So check it out. It can be very interesting, and also let us know how it goes, I suppose. Marcin, welcome. Elliott wave shines so bright in the day and through the night. Exactly, Sibel. Sibel in a singing mood. Tomorrow, of course, work for most of the people. This guy immediately gets into hide user from channel because that's scam. I get many of these comments in my YouTube comment section as well. They're automatically removed, most of them. But this guy somehow, I don't know, this scammer got through. Just make sure if you see anyone posting like a text like this, right? Use a wallet, how to withdraw using these words. Do never, ever, period, reply, interact with this type of shit, right? You're all smart enough, right? 80K, how you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here, man. Seriga, yeah, a little bit of Bitcoin at the beginning. Make sure to vote, right? Make sure to vote. I think it's calculated last time. No, last time is, so last week is not in the vote. It's a new one. Don't forget to hit the like button. I'm going from smaller to larger time frames on my planning. Okay, that's also good. Sam, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. So Sam, by the way, the reason I started to work on my vision yesterday is also because of your email. Because in order to answer questions that you send me, I first need to know, like, where do I want to go? Which means where do I want to go in life? And which then translates in where do I want to go with business? Which then translates into what the fuck do I want to do? That then comes to your questions of like how to then get there. So I'm working on it. I started working on it. So thanks again for your email. It's amazing. Umer, welcome. What's up? Oliver, Milo, quick email needed. Welcome. They're always talking about some. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's all those comments. You can see it in most of the finance channels. They don't manage their comments, so they're full of scams. Right? Any investing trading channel, I'm so surprised people don't put effort into removing scammers from their comment section. I've done it since the beginning, and it's a habit. Like every time I see something, I'll put it into banned words or whatnot, and it avoids people getting scammed. If you could show us how to set up the targets NPOC folder, sure. Potty mouth. What's up, 4-star strength? How you doing, man? Okay, so answer this question and then let's get started. So first of all, the question here, right? So how to create these folders? Quite simple. If you have a couple of naked point of controls on the chart, right? You have these lines, the horizontal rays. I press Shift. I click on the bottom one, select all of them, click on the folder, create a group of drawings, right mouse click, rename. There you go. Voila. That is how you create the folder. Okay, so I haven't been looking at the chart. Neither have I been looking at the vote really. So let me refresh what's going on. Wow. Oh, there you go. So I will do a few of these, and then we go to the wheel of names. I got it prepped here. I don't have the list of coins in there, but I will add that, right? So just make sure you keep voting. Short update on Bitcoin, I suppose. We are currently ranging above the point of control. The white box I have on my chart is a 2-hour gap. We're on the 2-hour time frame. Commonly, when a price hits a gap for the first time, it acts as a support. So this gap high is at 59,317. If you close 2-hour candles in the gap, probabilities increase to fill the gap, right? So that would mean price moving down and hitting the previous range here. At the moment, we have a very sideways, typical weekend price action as expected, right? Like this is very, very typical for the weekend. Now, short little update because we want to do alts. One, we have the diagonal here. Now the diagonal is very close to lowering in probabilities because of this orange level being hit, right? If we want to increase this scenario in probabilities, 1 second, drag this to the right, and yeah, okay, that's fine. Then preferably, right, you want overlap with your wave 1. By the way, this is what I see right now. 1 second here, because of course this is the first time I'm looking at my chart as well now since Friday. So 1 second here, 670, do this. Because I actually think this scenario doesn't work anymore. No. Because we want overlap with wave 1 in a diagonal, right? It's very rare not to have overlap between a wave 1 and a wave 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You want wave 4 to overlap with 1. Very rare not to happen. The problem is if you overlap with wave 1, meaning hit the green line, you also hit the invalidation of a contracting diagonal, which is the 1-to-1 here at 58.80. So in other words, the probabilities are significantly lower now for a diagonal here to the upside. We have the bearish scenario being a WXY that I have on my chart. Now the alternative, let me clean this up. Okay, let me clean this up here. And also let me add something else. A, B, and then we have... So it looks the same, what I do. Let me remove this line here as well. And let me remove this as well, and then chuck, scroll to the right. Okay, and do this, and do that, and do this. We can keep this. Remove the box for a second. So what you see on the chart here, right? This is your bearish scenario, meaning a 3-wave structure up, and then you look for another move towards the downside again. Target most commonly, both for a wave C or Y, is 61.1, 62.4, which we haven't hit yet, right? Now there's 2 scenarios on my chart. It's a WXY, ABC. The difference is a W is a 3-wave, then you have X, and then a 3-wave in Y. But so that's a double zigzag, meaning A, B, C, zigzag up. However, because of the move up, sideways move up, this range here, right? Like it starts to it's of course getting very long, no? So if we want to count an A, B, C in here, preferably one would say your C is in instead of counting this A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you still would expect another high to the upside, right? Preferably to take out this high in that case. And if you would count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you do exactly the same. So it would be nice for price to still actually move to the upside and hit the resistance value area high here at 61.4K, including the target box 61.4 to 61.8. So there's a nice area of resistance. This is or was your resistance. We are pretty much now testing it as support, right? Keep an eye on the gap as well. Don't want to lose that gap really. But as long as you don't fill this gap and change market structure, probabilities are higher for price to move up because changing structure is what the bears need. If you're bearish, right, you can only really become bearish if you take out these lows here, if you change the structure, which at the moment is not the case, right? So that is where probabilities change. But yeah, at the moment that's not the case. And then we have the double 1, 2 here. Right, or triple in this case on my chart, which is most bullish. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Right? In other words, you move to the upside. Mind you, we do have bullish CVDs. These ones already played out. I think we still have some bullish CVDs if you zoom out here. So be aware, right? Locally here, higher low, lower low on CVD. This one, target 65. So as long as you do not take the lows at 57.5, probabilities are higher to continue up. Bullish CVDs are consistently building as price moves up as well. Yeah, what to say. So, okay, there you go. So now we go into the alts then and make sure to vote. Now I have to say up front that when I analyze the alts, I don't generally spend too much time looking at chat because I can't, because analysis takes focus. So just so you know up front, listening when I go from one pretty frank and a bit of swearing practical stuff, quite more. It's changed you much. I'm glad you listened to it, TP, man. I just call you TP, T Clepson, TC, TP. Yeah, I think like, so he's talking about a book called Unscripted. It's if I had to pick one business book that you should read, it's that one. Unscripted. The link is in the description. It's an affiliate link, but it doesn't work. Just saying up front, I can also even show you the data. I've never earned a dime because I don't get those. I don't get it to work. But at least you can Google Unscripted by MJ DeMarco, right? Marco with a C. Great guy, great author, great vision on how to build a business, and very straightforward, very practical, very to the point. And has it changed me much? It has definitely changed my approach in a way to business, but also to reaching financial freedom. Yeah, it's great. So a great book, yeah. River, welcome. Charbel, how you doing? Hope you all had a great weekend. So quick refresh and let's get this started. Starting with Solana, which is nice. Because also this morning I got a comment and the request was to check for the bull market targets for Solana, because generally I don't really have targets for 5s yet on my chart, but we can do a little estimation, right? So this is of course bull market targets, right? We can talk about bearish scenario as well in a second. But okay, let's get this started then. So we are currently in minute 22:30. So on Solana, your highest probability scenario is what you see on the chart, right? So it's an impulse to the upside, meaning a 5-wave structure, double 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. By all means, one more push towards the upside to take the high of 3. Probabilities only really start to change for this scenario, right? If you hit the invalidation, 45, but preferably we don't really go to the 05. That would be quite deep, you know, your invalidation officially is 45. With regards to support, what I do think is interesting, you know, we don't know if we hit it, is the point of control here at 100, which is the point of control of this range, meaning the most volume traded in this range was at exactly 100. So that is quite interesting support that we have to the downside, right? So definitely if price comes down, this is definitely an area of interest to observe the reaction. After hitting support, you of course want to see either an impulse up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retracement, entry up, stop loss. No financial advice, but that's typically, of course, how you trade Elliott waves. You want to have a diagonal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retracement, continuation, or multi 1-2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and eventually volume goes up and off you go, right? So this is, and still remains, your highest probability scenario on Solana till proven otherwise, right? We are in a very sideways ranging structure, perfectly fine, and we know the support to the downside as well. Yeah, so you know, that's that. The reason the probabilities are higher, because of course I need to have an argument for that, right? You can't just be like, oh yeah, bullish, is because if we count this corrective, we need an ABC, meaning a 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your wave C is very extended. So what is the highest high here, by the way? This is 26.578, 27. Okay, yeah. So your wave C went way beyond the 1.618. Now the 1.618 is still a target for a C, but moving beyond the 1.618 increases the probabilities that this is a wave 3, not a wave C. Right? It's crypto, yes, but it's about probabilities, right? The only thing we can do in trading is get a estimation of probabilities based on respected rules, guidelines, fibs, targets, volume, everything that makes Elliott waves time. And this move up here is very extended for a wave C, passing the 1.618, which lowers probabilities for it to be a wave C. So naturally, your probabilities are higher for the bulls compared to the bears, unless 45 gets touched. If we then talk about targets on Solana, let's do a quick example of how that works. Now, for the sake of this example, I will use 100 as the area that I probably want to pull it from. Let me go here to the lower time frames. 886 touch here, but yeah, no, okay, no, we're going to use the current low. We're going to use the current low on the chart here. Go back to the weekly. Let's use the current low that we have. Put this back on, bull, and there we go. So first of all, wave 5 targets, right? This is for the white targets. So where is it? Here we go, tuck. That's target 1. Then we do this 1 to 1 from the start to the end of 1 to the end of your 4, toggle on the 1 to 1, bang in the middle, and then we take from the low, the start of 1 to the end of 3 to the end of 4, toggle on the 0.618. I go quite quick. Reason is also, of course, time, and we want to do multiple charts. Now this then gives us an area, which is very big, by the way. So this gives us an area for white, which is between 247 and 619. What the hell? That's really, really big. 1 second, let me check. Let's just say, like this is, you have more confidence here. So probably what I would do is do this and then make this orange just to make it yellow, just to subdivide into, we have a bit more confidence in the white area for the white count, right? That's how we, okay, there we go, and then this is yellow. Okay, so okay, hop, and then 5 ends somewhere there, right? And then of course what we have to do. So this is the thing. So there's honestly 2 ways to count this as an impulse. You can either count this white 4 and then white 5, blue 4, blue 5, right? Or you have here a single 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is already finished. So this is white 5, blue 4, blue 5. Now the reason I at the moment don't is because if I pull a fib from the low of 2, blue 2, to the high, let me turn this off, and toggle on the wave 4 targets, then you can see we have not hit the 0.236, which would be a minimum target for a wave 4, meaning the blue wave 4. So actually we want price to move down on Solana for it to become a blue wave 4 minimum, right? It's very rare not to move into this area, which at the moment it hasn't, no? So this of course is your most bullish scenario, because here you expect a 5-4-5, right? Your quote-unquote bearish bullish scenario is 1 more high, and then you retrace to lower prices. So then you start a bear market, no? So therefore, this area is very important. Your white box here between 247 and 317, and then yellow is 315, 317 to 623, no? Depending, of course, it's a big area, but depending on the lower time frame structures, you can get a lot more accurate. And then if after this you have a blue 4, so this is of course, by the way, if your white 5 is already in, right, and you are working on blue 4, and you know this is your target for your end of the bull market, so that's 1. But if we're more bullish, then we are looking for 3 to end here, then we start 4, so then we do this from the low to let's say 300, looks nice, swing failure, the highs here pretty much. And then you retrace 1, 4, 3, make this blue. Make this blue, and then we go again. Now wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the price action of wave 4 of a lower degree. So if we continue ranging here, maybe go down to 100, maybe we hit the 382, 81, then 81 would be your, preferably like your maximum low, which is also in confluence with the 382 of blue in this case, if price would go to 300 and retrace down, right? The higher price goes here, the higher these targets will be. But in that case, we have to get, you know, we're now estimating. So 300 to, let's say we do hit 100-ish, you know, maybe little wick below. Of course, this is very hypothetical, but I received this question earlier today, like, yo, Koen, you know, can you talk about potential like bull market targets? So I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. But you got to realize that what I like to do the most with Elliott waves is let the chart speak. This is this here, what I do now, this is way too far in the future, right? This is official. Honestly, this is stuff I'd never actually do, but I got a question, so, you know, why not cover it, I suppose. But it's generally not something I like to do, because you can't really predict a market so far in advance. You can have the scenario in your mind, but, you know, and yes, I do realize that you have some analysts that put a squiggly line on their chart, and they have 5 lines. They do this, and then this, and they have a line that does this, and this, and this, and they have a line that did. Like, they have a scenario, like a line for everything, and then in about 2 years, they say, oh, look, price respected my squiggly line. And I'm like, well, actually, it was very shit analysis to do that, because, you know, how can you even give the highest probabilities to something like this? So then your 5 would be 355 to 501. No, that's not true. 337 to 939. Wow, that would be very high. Almost 1,000. That would be crazy. But that's the problem. We're on a weekly time frame. We don't have any data here. We don't have any data here. So this, of course, becomes a very big box. So there you go. Your target is literally between like 300 and 1,000. Now, yeah. So that's the target. Your first target here would be 250 to maximum 616, but the white box is 215 to, let's say, 315. So like that's $100 range, which is pretty decent. You could swing the high over here, make people think continuation is on, but you actually like swing failure, take the low, move down in 4, and then push another move up. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's Solana for you. Next up is Link. Let me refresh here. Yep, next up is Link. So again, as mentioned, it's not easy for me to really look at the chat too much, but I will quickly before moving into Link. Where's the Elliott? Koen. There we go. Lambo this week. I mean, with the bull market so far, you should have already had a Lambo in front of your door. Crazy Potato, enjoy Elliott Wave with SMC. Yeah, always make sure to have like your own plan, right? Like Elliott Waves with SMC can work brilliantly. Elliott Waves with CVD, Elliott Waves with trend lines, Elliott Waves with EMAs, Elliott Waves with order flow. Like many people use an additional set of tools with Elliott Waves to increase their probabilities, right? So it's very nice. By the way, welcome as well. It's nice that you use something like this. No? Your Elliott Wave counts are helping me a lot with Bitcoin. I know this is alt stream, so I just want to say have a good week. Yo, cheers, man. I appreciate it, mate. Thanks for popping in and dropping that, yo. Appreciate it, man. Sol USD looks like a cup and handle. I mean, there's not really a handle, right? It's like a range. But I mean, the cup is enormous and the range is very small. So you would definitely want a much bigger handle in that case. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Adam also, by the way, of course, welcome. Yeah, lower. You have support at 100. So thought you were not coming live. I always keep my promises, man. I said I'm gonna go live today, this evening, for the alts, and just trust me. If I promise something, I'll 100. I don't like promising not delivering. I want to manage expectations, and I like to be live. I love this. So Of course I'm live. Of course, if something happened for whatever reason and I couldn't go live, I would have informed you, right? I would have written something in the group or in YouTube, and I would make sure that everyone's expectations are again set right. But I'm happy to go live. I also enjoy being live and talking with you and doing analysis and stuff. So no, I'm happy, man. Happy. So okay, this is link. Let me check the timestamp that I have to 35:30. Okay, on link, we are at support, which is very easily a big support resistance area. The red line you see on the chart at 719 is the point of control of this range, just like on Solana, right? This is very interesting. Will we get there? We'll see. But it's an interesting area of support. It is again a point of control just below the wick, just like on Solana as well. So that makes it quite interesting. Now your bullish scenario here is an impulse up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retracement to continuation in a wave 3, right? So then you still have the biggest move on link to come. Your area of interest, 618786, 618 is touched on top of the horizontal support, and then we have the 786 at 667, and in the middle we have that, or in the middle, I mean lower end of the box, we have the point of control at 719, right? Now, currently, the probabilities are higher for counting this move up as a wave 1 or alternatively a wave A. It would in the end be bearish, but a wave 1 or a wave A, meaning an impulse looking for correction and another impulse to take out the high of 1. And that is twofold, right? That's the reason is twofold. First of all, in the bearish scenario, which... okay, I actually don't have on my chart, but the bearish scenario is that this move up is a wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in a flat structure, meaning A, B, and then a wave C. Now, the reason the probabilities are lower for this is because your wave B, right, retraced to the 105 Fibonacci, as you can see here, and the 105 is not common for a wave B in an expanding flat, right? But if we then take a trend-based fib from the start to the end of A, or at least the highest point of A, to the low of your B, and toggle on your wave C target for a regular flat, because the 105 is a regular flat target, A, B, C. This would be your C target. I mean, we blasted through the C target, right? And if we then put the expanding flat targets on the chart, you can see your common expanding flat target is the 1.618. But we even moved beyond this and moved up to the 2.618, which is a less common target for a wave C in an expanding flat. But the most common target for B in an expanding flat is not touched. And we move beyond the common target for an expanding flat wave C to the 2.618. So therefore your probabilities are higher from an Elliott wave point of view based on their rules and guidelines that we are counting it as a 1-2 or a potential AB. But by all means that this is not a C, but it's a 1 or A. Second reason the probabilities are higher for this is because the move to the downside here has a higher probability of being corrective. Now what does that mean? The fact that this move down has a higher probability of being a three-wave structure, right? And of course, this can still be a triple zigzag as well, but I'll go in more detail. But the reason, or the fact that this is a higher probability corrective structure increases probabilities to take the high. If this was an impulsive move down, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, we have to be aware of at least continuation to the downside. But if we observe this structure here locally, you can see that this is a very three-wavy move down, right? We can't really count a nice impulse in here. 1, 2, 3, where is my 4? Where's my 5? We never took the low, right? Unless we start talking about truncations, which is incredibly rare. So we have then a three-wave move down. Highest volume of that local move to the downside, by the way, is, oops, there you go. Right, is also here, is in the low. So if you count this move to the downside as an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 by far, most common, has the highest volume, right? Highest volume, but we never got 4, never got 5. Instead, we moved back up, invalidating 4. So the probabilities are higher. We got a three-wave structure here and another three-waver, right? And then we have another three-wave structure here to the downside. So it starts to look like WXY double zigzag, WXY, potentially XZ, by the way. Yeah, so then here to the downside, of course, we then again have a structure to the downside. Highest volume once again in this move to the downside is in the low, but we can't count this as an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because your wave 4 is once again too high. Take a fib, right, from this high here to the low. If we would count this 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, right, you count this as 4, toggle on the 618. Oh, we touched the 618, invalidates wave 4. So therefore, your probabilities are higher. This is a WXY with the potential of making this a WXYXZ, which would then lead to price hitting the point of control at 719 and probably Solana going to 100. Bitcoin, I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see. I mean, for Link, if you do go down here, that's another easy 30% drop. It's definitely an area of interest. I mean, if Bitcoin would move down 30%, we're pretty much going into the mid 40s, low 40s, which remains an interesting target, of course, on a Bitcoin as well. Preferably, we do first hit that resistance, the value area high, of course. But what's happening on Bitty? We are now moving to the downside. Did we have any divergences? Little bit of bearish CVD locally that has played out. Other than that, there's not too much big stuff going on. 5-minute time frame. Bullish CVDs are just being invalidated, but it's not like we have very clear bigger bearish CVDs at the moment. We still have the 2-hour gap, right? As mentioned in the beginning, that's something to keep in mind, and taking 57.5 would give the bears higher probabilities. So this is currently the status on Link. Invalidation for the bullish scenario is your low at 477. Okay, next up, Ethereum. There we go, Ethereum, Sui Fet Xrp. ETH, there we go. Cheese, what's up, man? Yo, Cosmin, we like it when you're live. Cheers, man. Appreciate it, guys. There's some I can see in the data. You have viewers that only watch videos, you have viewers that only watch live streams, and you have viewers that watch both. Now, most of the viewers, they watch both, not necessarily the whole live stream, but at least they pop in and, you know, they watch and then eventually they leave. But you also have people that only do the live streams or only do the videos. But by all means, thanks for popping in, everyone. So I appreciate it, guys. I like Elliott waves with mayonnaise. Sure. Link just went under 11 again. Yeah, it's not looking very strong locally, though. I should actually zoom in, maybe. Did you already see Solana? Yes. Solana, minute 22:30 into the live stream. What's up? Yo, Army Piper, man. How you doing? Hi, guys, in the general chat in Discord, Mark linked to Army Piper. So you can check out his channel as well if you wish to. Good to have you here, man, Army Piper, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Let me quickly go to Link, though, again, to show the 4-hour time frame on Link. Look, honestly, every chart pretty much looks the same, but I think we can all agree that Link here is not really forming a bullish structure. Now, what do I mean? I mean this. You need an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need a diagonal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a multi 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, and then poof, right? Look at the structure we have here, right? Can we count this as an impulse? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. Price also went down here. Can we count a multi 1, 2? 1, 2, 1, 2? No. Invalidated. Price took the low. Can we count this as a diagonal? Too early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We're not even like finished with a wave 3. We still need a wave 3 all the way up here. We can't count diagonals. It's way too early, right? We want to wait for wave 4 to be in. Can we count this as a wave A or 1, 2 or B, and then look for a 3 or C? Very, very low probabilities, because price in your B, in that case, for an expanding flat went way too high, right? I mean, the 1.618 is already rare for an expanding flat, and you passed it with ease. So the probabilities are higher. This is a 3-wave structure, which is a problem for the bulls on Link, because the only structure that at the moment would possibly work here for the bulls is a diagonal, right? Which means the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've shown here, which of course is a bit of a challenge, no, for the bulls. So yeah, the only, of course, and this is also too early. The only alternative you have is like on Bitcoin, where you move into a triangle structure, right? So this is then a 3, 3, 3, 3, right? And you just have a couple of 3s, 3, 3, 3, and then it just goes sideways. But then we will know at a later stage, right? Because you're not finished with the triangle yet. You're still looking for a longer range. We will be able to identify a triangle at a later stage, but a triangle is also still too early. It's too early. So yeah, on the lower time frames, it doesn't look very strong. We were going to ETH here, and we go to the weekly up. Okay, cool. So ETH 46 30. Okay, there we go. I smashed like prom night. Need to do a collab. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Sorry for not yet replying in Discord, by the way. At the beginning of the stream I explained my weekend, but it's been a busy weekend. And I didn't really keep an eye on the chart or really too much on what was happening trading related. I do tend to check up on what's happening in Discord, but I tend to not be too active because I do all sorts of other stuff in the weekend as well. But yeah, let's make, like, absolutely, we gotta pick a date. I don't yet have too much experience with collabs on YouTube. I'm a noob. I did one with Alex back in the day, which was great fun, by the way, but I did struggle to set it up. But at least I got experience once. So hey, the more often I try, the better I get at it, no? So okay, let's get started. Ethereum, I have group 1. No idea what this is. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, I see. 1 second. Okay. I see. Let's put that here. Call this. Okay, so couple of things on ETH. Mind you, this goes relatively quick. This scenario is a WXY, and then counting this as a 1-2 continuation. Low probabilities, because this wave 1 has to be a 5-wave structure, looks very much as a 3-wave structure, and also counts best as a 3-wave structure. Same is true here. 1-2, 1-2. You gotta count this as a 1. Again, this range in the middle fucks things up. Not great. Then we have the only way to count this as an impulsive move, which would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Is this a great impulse? No, it's not really a great impulse. Reason being, wave 4 is really long compared to 2 in time. Massive compared to your wave 2 in time, right? The proportion is not there, right? It looks much better as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I guess we can agree. Instead of counting this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? So from a probabilities perspective, it's not too great. Also, preferably your wave 3 is the most extended wave, which isn't the case here. But at least it's the one scenario where you do not have overlap between wave 1 and blue 4, no overlap between white 1, white 4, just that time-wise it sucks. And the extensions, the ratios suck. You know, this is sometimes like what you can do. Pull a polyline from the start to the end of 1, to the end of 2, and then to your end of your 3 here, and then to 4, and then to 5, right? And then double click here. Then you remove the chart, move the scenario, and be like, okay, does this look like a great impulse? Does this look like a great impulse? Nah, it looks shit, no? Definitely doesn't look nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does not look like a great impulsive structure. I guess most of us can agree. So I guess then also we can agree that the probabilities for something like this is not too great. No, it's not too great. We are, by the way, at support, side note. So that means that we can at least venture into quote-unquote bearish scenarios, including the triangle. Now also this triangle, still a bit early, right? We are not even close to finishing D, which preferably I wait for D, but you have a 3-wave A, WXY in B, by the way, which is labeled like this, ABCW, XY, C, D, E, continue. In other words, you're going to be ranging easily till like the end, minimum the end of next year minimum, but probably you're going to go sideways till like, I don't know, end of 2025 probably. But then you have the WXY, which is actually more bullish, because in the WXY or the ABC, it's just a bigger 3-wave structure. After the move down, you then expect continuation. So this one is more, even though you go down, this one is more bullish than this one. But both of the bearish scenarios on ETH do have higher probabilities than the bullish impulse. And that is because of the messed up range that you have here. Now in the WXY, you then either count 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C, right? Take out the low. And the WXY, zigzag, X, and then in a wave Y, you are looking for a flat triangle, whatever, zigzag, but your minimum target would be 618, either or. 1.4K on the log chart and 1.6K on the linear chart, right? So both of those are important targets, especially if we combine this with the volume of this previous range. Point of controls at 1637. Look at the confluence here, by the way. Isn't that sexy technical analysis? 1630 together with the point of control. Important support on the linear chart, that is, right? So this point of control here at 1637, value area high 1945. And then you look for continuation to the upside. Now the probabilities, however, on ETH, right? So that is the scenario. So the probabilities are higher for quote unquote the bearish scenarios compared to bullish scenarios, just because of counting this as an impulse would be the only way. It's not, it's far from being sexy. You did hit the target at least 42382 is a minimum target. Okay, we touched it. Common target for 2 is actually also still lower, right? So preferably you still go down. Even in the most bullish scenario, counting 1 to continuation, your common target is 1900 till 1200. And also preferably you end wave 2 after the 382, which is the 11th of November. So preferably you make a final low, or if you do move into a sideways structure, you finish it after the 11th of November. So even in the bullish scenario, preferably you still actually get a drop. Now with regards to support, because we do of course have some support, we have that point of control, which is very interesting. We have currently support weekly and the monthly, as you can see. Ethereum is absolutely not interesting as long as it cannot even move above this support resistance area here, which is 2.7 to 2.8, arguably a little bit higher if we include this bit here. So let's say it has to move above 3K. Right, this is your support resistance here on the chart. To the downside, blue box 1800 to 1950, and then we have 1540 to 1650. So those are two important and interesting areas to the downside. On the lower time frame on ETH, let's have a look. Did we touch the 886 on Ethereum, by the way? Wait. Hold up. I'm going to pull it to this one. 886. Yes, we did. Oh, increases the probabilities for price to take the low on ETH because the 886 is very rare for a wave 2, common for a wave B or a wave X, which increases the probabilities that the move up is corrective, right? So even if you would take out the higher probability the move up is a wave C or Y, increases probabilities to later still take out the low. So probabilities on ETH on a 4-hour, arguably daily time frame here are higher for price to still move below 2.1K, right? And I actually think we had a very nice example of going from the 886 back to the golden pocket. Happens quite often actually. So we are now ranging around this this golden pocket. But the fact that the 886 is touched by itself increases probabilities to take the low. Of course, we can start slowly talking about more bullish scenarios if you pass 3K. But at the moment, it hasn't. And then again, same like on Bitcoin, same like on Link, the only way to avoid taking the low would be to create a bigger range in a triangle structure, right? Or for this to be eventually a bigger diagonal. But the problem with both of these is in a triangle A, B, C, D, E. Wait, actually you want to count this A, B, C, D, E if you're bullish to move up. But it's still too early. You haven't finished wave D yet, so it doesn't make sense. And then we have a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to count as a 1, look for 2, 3. Also too early. We haven't finished 4, we haven't taken the highs. So in both cases, bullish scenarios are too early, bearish scenarios are higher probability on ETH, till proven otherwise. Making life quite simple actually on this chart. Now finally what I wanted to say is if you pull a fib from the high, all-time high to the low, we did touch the 886 here, increasing the probabilities any move down here is corrective in against C or Y, or in other words, probability is just higher, this is corrective, whatever, meaning probabilities are still higher on ETH long-term to take out all-time high, right? Just so that we have that that cleared. And also locally, right, we also again touched the 886 here, also increased probabilities of this being corrective. Wave Y, wave C, right, bigger triangle, WXY, doesn't matter, but still probability is higher to also take the high here. So on a long term perspective, right, Ethereum has no problemo, but locally it's not looking very strong. Okay, refresh. Near. Let me do near, and then where's near? I did it last time, no? Near. Oh, there we go. Time 57:30. Maybe it's the Heineken. Yo, quick email. Then looking at 50-minute Bitcoin chart, looks like the same crash structure as the COVID one. Yeah, a bit of a move to the downside here. We gotta be aware of the WXY with the finished C here, just in case. That's your most bearish scenario. We don't really have bearish CVDs. We are still above the point of control, still above the gap. If you start filling the gap, that wouldn't be too great on Bitcoin. But I explained it at the beginning. And of course, tomorrow, that's when I get back to Bitcoin updates. No? Near. Okay, so we hit support on near. Right, so we hit there you go again, point of control. In this case, you actually did hit it. Of this range here, 333 number of Max Verstappen, just saying. And then we have over here support still to the downside here, 256 to 285, right? And then a couple of weeklies, and yeah, that's it. If we take a volume profile, just like from the whole thing, what do we get? If we take it from here, what do we get? Oh, value area high. Value area high. Do we also have a point of control somewhere? Wow, so much volume is down below. Where is the volume here? Okay, a little bit of volume at the weekly, but interesting. Okay, bullish scenario. Nice. Bearish scenario. Nice. Okay, I gotta zoom in. So I already remember seeing those two scenarios. Why I did not count this in detail, and that's because of the very, very, very messy start. I do not like this. It's very ugly from an impulse point of view, right? If this is your low on near and you look for an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, then this is very ugly, right? It's like difficult to count all, like there's a lot of overlap here as well. It's not a nice impulsive structure, but there's the potential to count it. I just don't want to put time and effort into, you know, puzzling this piece of price action. It's much more interesting to focus on what's happening here, because this price action is a lot more clear. You got to pick your battles, no? So from an Elliott wave point of view, when we look at the move from the high to the downside, then you can see this looks incredibly three-wavy, right? Now, the most bearish scenario is that you have a wave 1 here. This is a flat in a wave 2 with a very deep wave B. And then you get a couple of 1-2s. Another wave 1, another flat in B. Mind you, that means you have, oh, sorry, not another flat. This is a wave 2. This is a wave 2. So you have 2 wave 2s with a similar structure, right? So your most bearish scenario is a double 1-2 to the downside. And then you have another impulse, zigzag, maybe another one, correction. And I mean, if this is your bearish scenario, yo, you better hold on, because you're gonna gun for those lows, yo. Anyway, that is your most bearish scenario. That's of course most dramatic. That's also what I have on the chart over here, as you can see. The issue, however, with that scenario is that your wave 2 is 11 times longer in time than your wave 1, which is, I mean, that's not great. It's not really great probabilities, right, for a wave 2 to be 11 times longer than a wave 1. Second, somehow in here, this needs to be counted as a wave 1, which is either a diagonal or an impulse. Yeah, you somehow then need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There's not really any other way. So it has to be a diagonal in a 1 with then 1, 2, 3, very mini 4, 5. This would be the only way to count this as a diagonal. And then of course you have your wave 2, which is very long. So is it pretty? No, right? From a Elliott wave probability perspective, this is very, very long for a wave 2. It's not really something we like to see. However, because of the follow-up, and especially because of this, we cannot disregard it. Because another flat in a potential smaller degree 2 is something that you do like to see in a double 1-2, meaning if you have a double 1-2 to the up or downside, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And then eventually you get a 3. But once you have wave 2s with a similar structure, right? You got to be very aware you might have a double 1-2. If you see 2 corrections being the same structure, right, with a sharp move down first in both cases, you got to be aware at least of a double 1-2. Because double 1-2s, the wave 2s tend to have the same structure. So we are aware of it, right? And that's the only thing that we can do. Time is very long in the first 2, but because of the second 2, I keep it on my chart. Right? I keep it on my chart. Now on near, if we then zoom in to the 4 hour, we have the same problem as with Link. Was it? Yeah. So again, 3 structures: impulse, diagonal, double 1-2, remember? For the bulls. Now we have a 3-wave structure to the upside here. Can we count this impulsive? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We never got 4 and 5. Diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too early. We're not even close to a wave 4. Which then means you go to multi 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, invalidated, price took the low. Can we count a potential flat for 1, 2 continuation? Oh no, we'll take the high from the high to the low here. B. Oh look, we passed again the 1.618. Low probabilities, this is a flat. Increases probabilities, this is a 3-wave structure. Increases probabilities for price to take the low. Right? unless, and there you go again, right? It's the same on many alts, as you can see, unless you once again go for a triangle or a bigger diagonal. But in both cases, it is too early. It's too early to give the highest probabilities to a triangle or a diagonal. So that makes life tricky on the lower time frames. And your bullish scenario is to count this as some sort. That's why I have this like very scattered on my chart. Of course, you need to have a WXY. I would because I also keep an eye on the other alts during these streams. You'd probably go into a double zigzag ish structure. Or a triple one, W, X, Y, X, and then a Z. You know what I mean? So pretty much your like link scenario, you would go for your W, X, Y, X, and then eventually another. Wait, sorry for that. There you go, and then another Z. So you basically have ABC correction. A, flat B, C, correction, and then another A, B, C to the downside. Confluences, what did I say? We have the weekly, so 2, 2, 7. Yeah, 2, 7, what's the volume? Point of control at the week. This is actually even more interesting, really. 230. Let me just make this a very big box. Just so I can say that it acted as support if it... No, that's a joke, of course. We have the point of control here, so I can make it 2 boxes. Let me make it 2 boxes here. Oh, thank you. Put it on the... Okay, cheers. Okay. Let me... arguably, I'm more interested in the lower one now because of the point of control. So... confluences, this is your bull. So yeah, currently probability is higher on near to still take the low till proven otherwise, which means diagonal or a triangle. Yeah, or by like as a bare minimum, get back above support resistance. I mean, also here we have quite an obvious area of support resistance. You could even make it a little bigger here, but yeah, put that in the confluence. So how far back can an 886 touch retrace? It can even take the high. If you have a wave A, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave B touches the 886, wave C can take the high and then reject. I have an example for you on Bitcoin where this happened a couple months ago. But yeah, we're of course on the alts at the moment. So, but generally, like most commonly, the 88 after an 886 touch, you do not take the high again. Most commonly, you do retrace to, let's say, a golden pocket or an 05 or something, but then it fails and you come back down to the 886 again. So yeah, FYI, I suppose. Sweet. Oh, look at you pumping, eh? Oh, I have the 886 on my chart, so I already know what I said here. Yeah. Oh, well, we touched the 886. Probability is higher to take the high. I must have said that last time. So that's why it's on my chart. Okay, cool. So that has played out. So we now took the high on SUI. Also, we hit the absolute final support on this chart, which is the daily. There's like nothing going on below the daily. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so if we just check the volume, the value area high is 1.4. Okay, wait. 1.41. Let's have a look then. What else can we find in that area? Weekly. Daily, take the range. Oh, it's on extend. Value area high and point of control are actually a little bit higher than I wanted. That's okay. So, you have to break 122. That's your big resistance now. 122. Yeah, also in the middle of the golden pocket. Golden pocket, value area low. 122 is resistance on the chart. Past that and you can move into 130s. And then that's where you have the point of control. Okay. Oh, that would line up so nice. So if you hit the blue box, let's say before mid-October, that would be ideal for resistance. Nice. Okay, group one. Okay, so your bullish scenario is of course an impulse. I mean, it's very, very oh wait, I actually have to put the timestamp. Sweet, of course I already analyzed for a minute or something now, so 109.30, perfect. So we have a 1 2 right to the upside here. So in this case you have 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. It's quite a nice looking impulse, and then you have a deep 2. 786 is still a target for wave 2. 886 not touched. You definitely want this to be the low. I mean, I could almost say your invalidation is here, but officially I'm not allowed to do that according to the rules because your invalidation is the low of 1. You just do not want to touch the 886 here. So you want the low to be in. It's such an easy invalidation, right? Yeah, of course, price from the low after hitting support already pumped over 140%. You just want that to continue. No? You want price to move up and take the high, 1, 2, and off to the races. The price never goes in a straight line. But you definitely want the low to be in this scenario, and because of the price, we don't have a lot of history, as you can see, and just because of this, you like very clear invalidation. Of course, officially it's the low, but you don't want price to actually take out this low. So it's a very clear invalidation on such a high time frame, and that means that any bearish scenario equals taking out the low. And on a daily time frame, at the beginning you saw that I had an 886 on my chart, taken from the high to the low here, toggle on the 886, right? Touched over here. Actually, I pulled it to the higher low, pulled it to the lower low. So it was touched, as you can see here, right? And now we took this high. So the probabilities were higher to take the high. You can check out the previous live stream. So we now took out the high. So those probabilities have played out. Now that is interesting, right? Because, and it does, I don't care if this turns out to be a flat ABC or whatnot, but the fact you took out the high does increases the probabilities to still look for either another leg up or higher prices. Because your zigzag target from the low, if we look for an A, B, C, zigzag target is 179.220. If this turns out to be a flat, 1 second, I do realize I go quick, but you know, time is ticking. So we have the 382 is touched. It's quite a long range. Preferably actually your range is finished here because 1, 3 wave 2, like it would be nicest to have this low in because else your range is going to be very long compared to your 1, and this is still looking okay, you know, ratio wise, but still, as a just in case, if you do turn into a flat here, regular flat, price took the high, that's your wave B, and then you move down, wave C, you take out the low, right? You still expect another move up. So you still expect price to take out that high. Yeah, and then depending on the retracement, let's say it goes to this candle, that's your order block on the lower time frame. So imagine it goes to 6-4. You still look for 155 to 2, you know, for an ABC impulse correction impulse. Of course, we haven't checked the lower time frame. Yeah, we can count an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not a crazy idea to look for higher. And we do have wait. 1 second. Oh man, I'm misclicking. Need to play more shooter games. So that's above. If we go to 1.6, that's the 1-to-1 inside. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's relatively quickly. I don't really care about if it drops or not, but the probabilities remain higher on Sui to, interestingly, compared to others. Of course, we're on a daily time frame, but you would, in general, still expect higher prices, especially as price now took this high, right? And I don't care if it goes up directly. Preferably your low here would be in. And of course, nothing goes in a straight line, clearly, as we can see here. But a bit of a volume increase as price is moving up. So preferably time-wise, it would be nicest if this is your low and you now look for A, B, and C and look for resistance. If you do come down once more, I'd still be looking for price to take out the high at a later stage though. And oh yeah, I see. Okay, I'm gonna do FET and XRP and then call it a day, everyone. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I see what okay, 1 second. Let me go to the daily. I guess the reason for this is the same as on link. Yeah. Yeah, either a WXY or WXYXZ. So let me just do this and then ta-da. So here again, move to the downside. Starts with a three-wave structure, clearly. Not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also 4 retraced too high, never took the low. Increases the probabilities. This is a three-wave structure. The only way to make this bearish would be a bigger diagonal, by the way, which would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finished diagonal in that case. Now let's consider this and count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, wait, 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's 4. And then you have this. I gotta do a few measurements. 2, 4. Okay, works. Okay. Up. Ooh, wait. Well. Okay. Okay. That's important, by the way. It did not hit the 1-to-1. So we can count it as a contracting, but that is only half the story, because now we need to check if the waves are shorter, question mark, which it is not. It's an expanding diagonal because your wave 3 is longer than your wave 1, but that means wave 4 has to be longer than wave 2, which it is not. It's shorter than wave 2. So the probabilities are low to count this as a diagonal, because then it's an expanding diagonal, very rare, never preferred, and wave 4 in an expanding diagonal has to be bigger than 2 in price, which it is not. Probabilities are higher. This is corrective. WXYXZ or whatever, WXY, doesn't really matter. Higher probability, it is corrective, not impulsive. So that increases probabilities for the bulls to still take out this high at a later stage on the higher time frame, and that is why I have this on my chart here as well. Now this is your conservative bullish scenario. Here you're looking for 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. We definitely retraced far enough in the box. Off, and off. We hit the 05, actually respected it nicely, gotta say. But if you're looking for a 4, then preferably we don't really, we don't really come back down here. I mean, if you hit the 618, that's an invalidation for a wave 4, right? Which, by the way, is more bullish, as I'll show you in a second. But in this case, you'd be looking for 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Still take out the high one more time, and then wave 4 is a deep corrective structure ending after the 1-to-1 fib time, comparing 2 with 4, meaning 4 is longer than wave 2. You just don't want to hit the 618. Right? So if price does come down, what you're then gonna have on your chart is 1 2 3 4 5, and then another 1 2, then you have this. This is going to be your second bullish scenario, and then this is your invalidation. Ta-da! So that's of course most bullish. Okay, so yeah, that's FET. Really, I mean, we don't really have to stand still too long, of course, on these time frames as well. Let me do that here. Do you have an example of an 8 not playing out? Yes, I do have one, which was in the uptrend after the intern. You remember? I don't know. Of course, I don't know how long you guys are in the market, but do you remember that story of the intern publishing an article about the Bitcoin ETFs and price pumping from the, what was it, like 27K to like 30 towards 30K, and we created that massive wick on the Bitcoin chart, right? And it got retraced all the way back. Wait, let me quickly show you. I'll show you. Wait, I'll show you the 886. However, I gotta say, it is an 886 that's where, like, it's not really follow. So it's this here, this one, but it's not really following how I use it nowadays. And the reason is that the 886 touch here was a wave Y, or it was a truncated C, but higher probabilities for a Y. Running flat possible as well, but you bounced in this range on the 886 here, and then price moved. However, of course I always learn, and I never really like to use 886s when we are in a bigger range, and you want to use it from clear pivots, right? On the high or the low, that's fine. But if price starts ranging and you get this, right? This is impulse up and you start a range. Never pull an 886 from this low to the high, because price can easily stop at the 886 and move, because the 886 is a target for a wave Y or a running flat wave C. Right? Only pull it from the start of a move, right? Never from the middle. Now, if price breaks structure and creates a 3-wave, now you can take it from the low to the high, because if you have a finished 3-wave structure, you want impulses up. If price does this, hits a local 886 taken from the low to the high, probabilities are higher to continue down and potentially continue changing structure. But that's only after a 3-waver. Okay, finally then XRP. Let's see what's happening here. I gotta say, like, it's interesting always. XRP has like a big fan base, like, in a way. Like it went to absolute shit and then it went back up, and like people are strong on XRP, like, also mentally. Like, big respect. Everyone is holding on, or at least trading it. Maybe not holding on, but I don't know the fundamentals behind XRP. It's just interesting to me that XRP has such a, such a community. It's great to see as well. I mean, I like communities, but it's interesting. Opal, yes, Cruz, absolutely. So absolutely. Okay, so we have XRP. What do I have on the chart for XRP? Confluences, lots of lines, none is touched. Oh, we did hit the point of control here, by the way. Almost hit the monthly. Like, yo, XRP is like stablecoin. Yeah, you're still at support though. Like these three boxes pretty much determine the range here. So you could pull another one here, of course, and here if you want to, but we're still on top of support. Interestingly, oh, hit the box. Hit the box. Nice. What did I have here? Range, point of control, and the monthly. Acted as support. Not bad. On a monthly time frame, we are looking for a wave 4 and a 5. Of course, your most bullish. So there you go. This is again your conservative scenario. 1, 2, 3 sideways, 4, 5. Most bullish, of course, is 1, 2, 1, 2. But your second wave 2 is your second wave 2 would be incredibly long, so it just works better as a 5, 4, 5 compared to a double 1, 2. Double 1, 2 it would be way more bullish, of course. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I mean off the races, but it's much more 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has a higher probability. Finish your 5 and then look for a move down. Now, if you want a quick look at potential targets, we can give an estimation here on the pivots that we have on the chart at the moment. Now, I will do a couple of pulls here because you can pull from the start to the end of 4 or from the high to the low of 4 and then use that range, right? So if we are looking for the triangle here, I'm going to turn you off now to the imagine we're not yet finished, but if we do this, and then we have low, this 1 to 1 doesn't matter. This one here, that's, oh yeah, I mean we can put it on the chart, and then we have this to this. Oh, I mean, it's the lines, they're very separated. It's such a big target area. Like your most common is the 1.236 to the 1.618, so it would be a little smaller. This would be the most common area. It's 558 to 26. What the fuck, man? Yeah. On the lower time frame, you can see group 1 here is a triangle A, B, C, D, E. Looking for E to finish. Continuation. Invalidation is taking out C. The moment you take out D, E has to be finished, right? In this scenario, take out D, and you can't have another E down. So, right? And this is your WXY, WX, and then triangle and Y, A, B, C, working on D, preferably then on the lower time frames. We actually want to see a 3-wave structure, right? So you then have, right, WAP, whatever range, and then another move up, D, create E, and then move up. And E is not allowed to take the low of your C. But this, of course, is just a continuation of the range in the end. Yeah. Okay. And 1 second. Oh yeah, and you're like, the thing on XRP is it's triangles left, right, and center. So of course your bearish scenario, where you do take out the lows, is going to be One second. A, B, C, preferably. Like you're really like look at the chart. You're moving in such a small range, on XRP. So this is your bearish scenario where you have a triangle B and then you move down in a C. Or you can label this WXY. I don't care, but you take the lows again. But it just depends on the breakout on the chart. And at the moment, we're looking for a wave 4, of course, preferably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I still look for all-time highs on XRP at a later stage. Will take a while, one can imagine. But you need to hit the invalidation to become bearish. And it's just, it's actually just a better opportunity, really. On XRP, though, this is important support. Do I have it here? Yeah, I do. So this white box here, 0.03, 0.06, that's important support. That's, of course, very far to the downside. But yeah, it's a very sideways ranging structure. Takes absolute ages for this to play out and do something. Probabilities, it's a bit tricky on XRP because it's been ranging for so long. You have the triangle. This is bullish. You just continue to range even longer. This is also bullish. Triangle finish. You look up, and then you have quite simply bearish, which is also a triangle. Now, in this case, by the way, your triangle here, of course, would be A, B, C, D, E. So if price moves above your C here, right, this scenario is invalidated unless you then count A, B, C, D, E, right? But I mean, preferably your C is finished. So arguably for the bulls, it is important to take out this high, right? That's what you like to see at like $1, 0.94. And the bears, well, you just want to do the opposite. Right? You want to move to the downside and take out 0.28. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. That's that. It's for I did Sui already. SUI was at 1 hour, 9 minutes and 30 seconds or something. But it's time to. I've been online for 1.5 hours now. Yeah, it's time to go, yo. Time to go. It is literally midnight. So what we did in the live stream is Solana, Link, Ethereum near Sui, I guess, FET and XRP. And at the very beginning, a little bit of Bitcoin. But I tomorrow we go back to hardcore Bitcoin. So morning update, live stream in the afternoon, and video in the evening. No? So we go back to full power. So let's see where price is tomorrow morning, and you can expect an update on Bitcoin tomorrow morning. So cheers, guys. So. Yeah, Deacon Nick, if only someone can give you 100% probability on that, eh? Okay, everyone. Thanks for being here. Mark, by the way, also, and Adam, and maybe Band-Aid, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. And everyone here, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the live stream and popping in. So... yeah, Rocky, no worries. The live stream, the VOD will be online. I'll quickly put the timestamps in the VOD and then, close down everything I got going on here. So, I'm not reading any comments about Formula 1 because I haven't watched Formula 1. So do not write comments about Formula 1. I can't scroll down now because I saw something. I read the word Ferrari. I haven't seen anything after. I'm not interested in knowing. So I'm going to watch... either tonight before bed, which is going to be a late night, which probably is going to happen. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys popping in, and I will see you again at the next one.